Good morning, loves. How are you today? Um, there's a lot going on, but today I wanted to talk a little bit about balance and how I found my balance. I found my balance through discovering that I was still hurting from childhood traumas that were a tradition in my family. It was traditional, this trauma that I'm speaking of, and many of us in my family are dealing with it. Um, I imagine the best way they know how. Nobody ever really talks about it, so I can't imagine how they're dealing with it, but it is traditional trauma. It's generational for us, and my experience with it was from narcissism and codependency. And I'm codependent, raised by a codependent and a narcissist. And the traditional link for us was alcoholism and mental abuse and controlling behaviors and patterns, which they too learned from their parents, and so on and so on. But I gave out a lot of information about codependency and left some links um, to some people like Lisa Romano. I believe her name was Sharon Martin. Yeah, Tracy Malone, Caroline Strawson, Lisa A. Romano. These are excellent resources if you are dealing with codependency, people pleasing, anxiety attachments, survival modes, defensive mechanisms, limited behaviors and abandonment, um, neglect, etc., and so forth. These are some excellent resources. There's a few others that I mentioned. If you go back a few reels, you'll see in the description. I don't leave something in the description area for all my videos, but so it won't be that hard to find. It's not that many videos, but go through the description section and you'll find the links to these people, and they are excellent resources. There are some links to test yourself to see are you actually codependent and at what level, because there are many subcategories, as is with narcissism, which I wanted to talk about today because once you find out what it is and look into it, a lot of people demonize narcissists because they believe that they cannot be healed. However, that's not true. It's unlikely for them to want to do the work to become healed, but it's not impossible for them to do. It's just like recovering from codependency, addiction, or anything else. You just have to want to do the work. So a few of the resources that I have come up with, because I refuse to give up on the people that I love, that I know need help. I know I cannot always be attached to them because of the reactions or relationships that we have or have toxicity to them. And I still have hope for them. And where I'm going, I desire to take them with me, but I can't take them. I'm realizing this the hard way, that I cannot take them with me, but I can expose them to the tools that they require to go forward if they so wish. But so a few of the resources that I've run across is a gentleman. His name is Professor Sam VAKNIN. He's got a few reels that are very intriguing. You have to have time to sit and listen to him, and it won't take long for you to realize that this man is brilliant, and he is also a narcissist. And because he's a narcissist, he can't help it. He's gonna say some things that's probably trigger you, but you'll probably be triggered. But he's so brilliant until he has coined some phrases and antidotes in psychology, and he's very good. But you do have to have patience going through with him. Like I said, he'll trigger you, but the truth is so compelling that you'll listen. But Professor Sam VAKNIN, I will put his link down at the bottom. Another gentleman called Ivan LOMELI, and he has great descriptive tutorials that make it plain to explain both sides of the coin and how it affects you. How does it happen from 0 to 100? And his name is, again, Ivan LOMELI. He's got some interesting clips, how you can create negative and limiting beliefs, attachment theory and attachment styles. That's Ivan LOMELI. Then there's Leon R. Walker Jr. This gentleman is a recovering narcissist. He has recovered, and he gives videos on YouTube also to expose the patterns, the patterns of a narcissist, their thinking, their emotional, because a lot of people like to say that narcissists don't have emotions, but they do have emotions. They just don't know how to express them. They don't know how to release them. And usually when they do release them, it's in controlling and manipulative ways, which is something that is taught. They cannot help it. It is how they were raised. It's the conditioning of them being raised. But they can overcome it. His name is Leon R. Walker Jr. He's very good. He gives good examples, and his snippets is only, if he keeps you 5 minutes, that's long for him. So he gets right to it, and he's an example of balance as well, because he studies how to, he's getting in therapy. He's studying how to learn himself. He's getting his body involved, which is the part that I'm currently about to endeavor into, getting the body involved with the fasting, how you eat, how you care for your body, because your body also holds memory of your trauma, which is another reason why in traditional thinking and beliefs, they tell you to press past your feeling, to ignore your emotions. Don't get too emotional, but your emotions are what tell you your circumstance, what's wrong with you. There are your warnings, your triggers. And we take them and run with them. In most cases, we should take them, analyze them, assess them, process them, and then decide how we're going to react to them. But he's an excellent example of that. Another gentleman is KHADURA ROSHAN. Excellent example of a recovering narcissist. He's also a life coach, and I can definitely relate to him, especially since he's a veteran. I've worked with veterans for over a decade, and I lived with one for 25 years. So I really understand him. I understand, overstand, and understand his dialect and his approach. He too also is a good example for balance with the mind, the body, the diet, and the therapy. Because this, my friends, is my therapy. And I just wanted to present a side of narcissism that is appealing, because it's not all bad. There's hope for them, and there are people out there who have no idea that they are this person. And if they are this person, they'll never reveal it to you because of the tag to it, the attachment, the descriptions that they don't have emotions, that they can't heal, that they're repressed, and it's a horrible stigma attached to being a narcissist, and it is curable. It is you can't turn around from it. You just have to desire to do the work, and it's work. It's not. Some people are content to be who they are, or because they've been it so long, and they don't want to change. But if you are desiring genuine relationships, friendships, business relations, I mean, it affects things on all levels, then take a deep look at yourself, genuinely, honestly, and recognize who you are, your habits, your traits, your beliefs. Take a good, honest look at those things and assess and do the work. Apply the tools, the techniques, the separation, the truth of yourself, and walk it as honestly as you can, and find support, someone who is going through the same thing that you're going through successfully. And I hope these resources will help. I will put them down in the description area. And if you come across any other resources, please leave them in the comments. Leave me messages. You can reach me on IG, Noteworthy Sister. DM me on Facebook. Send me a message, and we'll share resources, because there are many people affected by these limited beliefs and these behaviors, and a lot of us turn to drugs, sex, alcohol, abuse, violence, self-hate. We turn to a lot of mechanisms and things to replace the void that we're able to satisfy or diminish. And a lot of us who go through it or dealing with it don't know how to turn it off. We just fall into the pattern because we accept that this is us. I'm just who I am. This is just who I am, but it doesn't have to be who you are. If there is more that you desire from yourself, and you can't understand why you're unable to attain certain relationships or accomplishments, then look into yourself, your inner self. What are the behaviors and the beliefs that you have? What are your thoughts? How do you think about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? And what do you project? Because a lot of times we're projecting our isms and our issues upon other people. We're judging people by our own hurts and weaknesses. And I just wanted to be able to give some resources to the side of limited beliefs and thinking about a narcissist, because a lot of people, you know, they give up on them. And I believe everybody's worth saving. We're all here for a purpose, and we are all touched by things while we're here. But we don't have to be, we don't have to stay broken. We don't have to remain in the damage, in the pain. There's a way to it, and it's not at the end of a bottle, or it's not at the end of a bottle. It's not in a needle in your veins. It's not being abusive to your partner, to your loved ones. It's not controlling people. It's not manipulating people. It's not anger. It's not violence. Those are not the answers. That's just your reaction to your pain. Now, if you want to turn it off, put down the bottle, step away from whatever your addictions are, and do the work. Look in the mirror. Like Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror. Look at the woman in the mirror. Ask some deep, honest questions. Why am I not fulfilled? Why am I not happy? And find out, where are you in what category are you falling in? Where are you in this process? Because something is out of balance, and there's going to come a time when you get tired of not having the balance, not having the footing. You're going to get tired of these patches, or these things that numb you for a time, if they don't kill you first. So I'm going to leave a link in the bottom beneath this card of the day, whatever it may be, because I haven't shuffled it yet. But Leon R. Walker Jr., he's on YouTube. Ivan LOMELI, he also is on YouTube. Professor SAM VAKNIN, also on YouTube. And ROSHAN is on IG. But he is on a interesting podcast on YouTube. It's called The Waves of Change. I'm gonna leave that down there, but you can see the interview with him. He's a veteran, and he talks about his experiences there, and what compared to what's currently going on now. Over there with I can't even call their names, but the war that we're at currently in this time and space. I'm so over it. But excellent resources, and as I come across new resources, I'll be sure to chime in and let you know. And let me know how they work. Have you tried them? How's it working for you? Tell them Noteworthy Sister sent you. And go to their sites. Most of them have sites. I know the ones for codependency, they have sites, workbooks, worksheets that are free, tests that you can take. And as well as the ones I'm going to put up today, they are mostly links to their pages or their platforms. But yes, so that's what I wanted to do, to distribute some balance. I spoke on one part of the dysfunctional behaviors, and this is the other part of it. Codependency and narcissism, the two are linked, and both male and female can be one or the other. There is a celebrity in the news currently who is going through this himself, and he's codependent, and his partner is a narcissist. So, of some degree, I don't know what category, but she falls in that range, and he falls in the range of codependency. So, which is sad that a lot of people have a hard time believing that there are women that abuse men. This is a very real thing. There are many, many women who are narcissistic, controlling, violent, and they find these men just the way men find women and victimize them. And it's not rare. It's not a rare thing. It's very common, but we rarely see it because of the shame involved and the masculinated, how they, take away the man's masculinity. So it's not spoken of often, but it does happen often. So, therapy. There's music therapy, art therapy, sound therapy, yoga, chakra, meditation, praying, singing, dancing. That's a thing that works for me. Singing and dancing, moving, the movement of the body, and music, art, writing. Those are things that I use to help me in my recovery, mentally and physically. That helped me. So now we're going to go into our card of the day. I hope that has helped you. I hope that has opened your mind to some things. And everybody heals and deals with their pain differently. I'm just trying to offer some options and some tools and some clarity from my personal perspective. I am not a counselor, a doctor, or a teacher of sorts. I am just sharing my experience because I too desire for others to heal, to know that there is healing for you if you so desire it. So, please let me know. If not, under the comments section, you can get in touch with me privately, and we can discuss. Or I could just listen. Sometimes we just need people not to say anything, just to be there, to be present. I'm able to do that. So today's affirmation for the day is Sacred Soul Sister. Sacred Soul Sister. Number 37. Sacred Soul Sister. This, some of y'all are too young to remember this, but some of you aren't. But this card reminds me of the record cover to Patti LaBelle and the Bells, when of Lady Marmalade Live. Sacred Soul Sister. That is Patti LaBelle and the Bells Lady Marmalade Live cover photo all day. They were in concert with their psychedelic costumes on, and they had this light buzzing. All you could see is the glare and the movement, as in this card, of them dancing around and singing. But that's what this reminds me of, Lady Marmalade Live. I don't know if that's the name of the album, but it was a live album. So number 37, Sacred Soul Sister. This is just like movement, freedom. There's a lot going on in here. It's detailed, it's depth. And it's all in love. It's all in love. It's like breaking the resistance, or breaking up fallow ground. It takes movement. It takes a shift. It takes a vibration to cause an interruption in the same old, same old. But lovingly, of course. Lovingly. You always want to do it in love. Okay, so Sacred Soul Sister, when you are conscious, a cloud of sadness surrounds you. When you are beyond consciousness, the moon rests in your arms. When you are conscious, the beloved moves out of your reach. When you are beyond consciousness, the ecstasy of love moves your way. Looking a little. Time for the afro to come back. Okay. When you are conscious, you are depressed like fall. When you are beyond consciousness, the winter cold feels like spring. All your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. This is fitting. We're talking about stability, balance. Look for instability until you become stable, which is fitting. Look for instability. That's going back to what I said earlier. Look at the things that are hurting you. Look at the things that are not being manifested, the things that you desire, the things that you are praying for, that sullen feeling that keeps you, that you're trying to break from and you're unable to do it. Look to that thing, heal that thing, and it will bring you up and out, and you will see, you will begin to have clarity in what it is that you're doing. Because we like to be a victim sometimes and say that, oh, the world is unfair. Oh, the man got me down. We like to blame others because we can't find the answer within ourselves. So look to that thing. All your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. Look for instability until you become stable. What is the broken thing? Where is the dark place? What's there? Touch on that the thing that you've been numbing, that you've been drinking to go away, that you have been getting in these toxic relationships, trying to relieve it. That's not the answer. The answer, I'm sorry, I'm lighting my incense. The answer is confronting the instability. The thing that you're avoiding is the thing that you need to go to. That's where your healing is. That's where your answers are. That's your clarity. That's the thing you gotta face, that you gotta look within. I know so far from what I have gone through, that I am discovering there are people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s that are like, oh my God, I've been doing this all of my life because I felt like, oh, that's just the way it is. And it doesn't have to be. It's my limited thinking. It's my limited believing. So don't continue to put yourself in a box. Once you discover that you're genuinely in a box, break the box. Break the fucking box. And come out of it. I mean, it's never too late to start new. It's never too late to heal. It's never too late to be happy, to have love, experience it the correct way. Okay, so when you're conscious, you are depressed like fall. When you are beyond consciousness, the winter cold feels like spring. All your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. Look for instability until you become stable. I love you. I am your other self. I am with you always, your partner on this slow soul journey. I am the you that you do not see. I am the you that speaks through intuition and instinct. It's in your body, it's in you. I whisper and sing and shout my crazed truth, telling to you through your dreams, through your body. I am the you that is wise, that trusts in life, that knows. I am the you that sees reality rather than appearance. I am the you that knows how to be happy and free. I'm telling you, we learn these behaviors from childhood, and they stick with us, and we grow up and we can say, oh, I'm never going to be like them. I'm not going to be how my parents. I'm going to do it differently. But the residue is there. You may not be as harsh or as controlling. You may not be as distant, but the residue is there. It still transfers. Not to the degree that it had with you, but it does transfer. And now that I have started recognizing and seeing myself and repairing that, I can see it in my children. I can see it in the younger ones in my family now. It's not, it's nowhere near as deep as it was behind me, but it's still present in little things. All right, there is a valid point of view that we travel this path of our life journey alone. Our deepest descent into the psyche happens alone. We meet death alone and come into the world alone, and yet there is a vaster perspective that we are never alone, that it would be impossible to really be alone. And yet there is a vaster perspective that we are never alone, that it would be impossible to really be alone. We are connected to all of life, and there is no such thing as being alone in reality, only in limited and temporary perception. And that is one of the beliefs that I am working on, coming out of being alone. I oftentimes take the mindset back to when I've had hard things in my lifetime. I've never had a person or a companion in my life at those times. It's always been just me suppressing whatever I'm feeling so that I can be present for everybody else around me that's in pain. So that can give you a sense of you're alone. Okay. It is a temporary perception. As if such community were not enough, there is a partner, an ally, who journeys with you from birth to death and beyond, again and again. You have a sacred sister, a sister of your soul, or a brother of your soul. She weaves the stories of truth through dreams and insights that come upon you as if from nowhere. So when you get these creations and these visions, these ideas, these aha, these moments, like, I wonder, I'm gonna try, what if? She weaves the stories of truth through dreams and insight that come upon you as if from nowhere. Perhaps they drop into your mind or seem to erupt from within you, but that is her talking to you, her or him, demanding or reassuring, depending on what the occasion best calls for at that moment. Their truths may seem overly dramatic, so you may discount them as workings of an overactive imagination. I.e. me, because I do that. I stay in my head a lot. Or perhaps her truth tales are so subtle. Her truth tales are so subtle, you dismiss them as meaningless, fleeting fancy, etc. The wise ones know, however, that the truth of the sacred soul are powerful, relevant, and worthy of time and attention. And that's what I was saying. We always dismiss them as, oh, this is just the way it is. You get these, with me, it was episodes. I was having these episodes or these flashes of memory that trigger a feeling or a word or a smell or a phrase would just trigger me right back to something that I didn't want to remember. And it's like, because your body has memory and it's time for you to stop festering. Pain gets tired of itself. Like some of us, we get tired of our kids, or we get tired of our parents, or we get tired of our boss. We get tired of pain too. And when it flares up, we're so used to pushing it away and pushing forward that we don't pay any attention. Oh, that was just a nightmare. That's because I'm stressed. Oh, that's because of this. Oh, I got so much to do. Da 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 da. But it's your pain telling you, visit me. Come see about me. We have to deal with this. This is why you're not getting past this level, because you keep pushing me back. Deal with me so we can go forward. Okay, your sacred soul, sister or brother, are powerful, relevant, and worthy of time and attention. They know their oftentimes strange and startling offerings hold the key to unlock entire worlds, to open up new realities, and to transform the nature of our existence from the deepest and most esoteric spiritual levels to the most palatable, practical, daily realities of our living worlds, of our bodies in this physical world. Your sacred soul, sister or brother, is your partner in consciousness. Make no mistake, they are you. They are just a part of you that is so great you cannot always see them from their conscious mind, from your conscious mind. It is sort of like the eye of the dog trying to see its whole self. That's like the dog, how they chase their tail. Sort of like the eye of the dog trying to see its whole self, which is a bit tricky, for as it moves to see its rear, so the rear is moved along too. So rather than through direct perception, the sacred soul, brother or sister, is met through reflection. The mirror, didn't we speak about the mirror earlier? They can be received in the moments of rest where great ideas are born. They are geniuses, you see, vastly creative and inspired. Their worlds are those we access in sleep and meditation, or absorbing engagement in activity, where the mind can relax and drop into realities far more vast than those of daily life and be replenished. That's what I was talking about earlier. Movement, memory in the body, and shaking up the fallow ground, making a resistance, breaking up things. To tap into her wisdom, to distill a teaching from the fragmented memory of a dream or a subtle feeling experienced in meditation requires that you walk with her gait and not the fast-paced, forward-moving canter of your conscious and intellectual mind. It's funny that they're talking about gait. Her gait is meandering and apparently unstudied. Yet she is in deep concentration to feel for truth of movement, to allow for what is emerging to express itself through her. And she is listening rather than demanding, to know, to force, to speak, and to direct. To receive her genius and benefit mostly fully from it requires a willingness to surrender logic and open up to inspiration, to become empty, to let the mind soften and become receptive, open and permeable. This is why I had to step back from tradition, from religion, because it was controlling me to stay in a lane that I could not stay in and heal. It was allowing me to hold on to the limited beliefs and the limited thinking. Everybody's journey is different, but religion was the thing that I went to when I got tired of drinking, when I got tired of smoking, when I got tired of being in these toxic, no-end, dead-end relationships. I went to religion. And I was able to come to myself, but I wasn't able to heal myself because of the restrictions of the tradition in religion. Not because of God, not because of Jesus, but because of the pattern that's all through religion. I mean, if you look at it, there's a lot of things that Christians ignore, that they know don't make no sense, that's conflicting. Oh, that's another video. But this was the reason why I had to start breaking ties, because I had to be able to be focused on what was going on within myself. And my faith was the thing I kept going back to. Oh, just press past it. But I would pray and I would fast and I would press past it for a while. And praying and fasting worked for a while until it didn't work. I kept hitting the same wall, kept going the same course, and then happened to repeat. So there was no complete, just repeat. And I got tired of that. So, but this explains that. All right, to receive her genius and benefits most fully from its requiring, it requires a willingness to surrender logic and open up to inspiration, to become empty, to let the mind soften and become receptive, open and permeable. She delivers questions that lead to answers, but not according to demands issued by an insecure and fearful mind. She offers what is genuinely needed and answers the deepest question of the heart. She is trustworthy. This sister, she cannot betray truth. Therefore, she can be relied upon as a faithful way shower for the heart. So, to commune with her, wise as that impulse is, requires that you learn the way of her world and the strange symbolic language she speaks. She will never tell you what you already know. Why be so inefficient? No, she prefers to educate, elucidate, intrigue, and beguile as you are drawn into far more beautiful, powerful, and helpful truths. So in her world and in her language, you must suspend your need to immediately understand. Let yourself absorb the imagery, the feelings, and the possibilities, to dwell, ponder, and be permeated by the wisdom, by the knowledge, by the revelation, the things that you're beginning to open up to and receive. The appearance of a horse may signify your own spiritual being, and the appearance of you may signify a false sense of identity and not the real you at all. You may see desert landscapes and moonlit nights in your dreams. When so much inner growth is happening, you will soon bloom like the springtime. You may dream of charging up hills with great energy. Wow, some of this is things that I've experienced. When in your physical world, you can barely muster enough strength to get out of bed in the morning. What does this all mean? I'm just confessing right now, this is one of my days that I had to force myself up out of bed. I.e., this is my pajamas, i.e., bedhead, i.e., don't care, think what you want, but I'm here. So, what does this all mean? This apparent contrary world, upside down, nothing is as it seems symbolism. The meaning is the communication, and the communication is received in repose, in reflection, in quietness and rest. And you must trust her and trust yourself. When something needs to be known, so it shall be. This is necessary, so much less than what we expect. Your lack of knowing is not ignorance. Your unknowingness is your bowing to life with trust. And because I have been through this process a couple of times already, I know that I'm about to be awakened to something that I'm trying to let go of. There are some relationships that I have to give up. I just have to give them up, period. And it's an adjustment that I have to get used to. And then there are other relationships that I thought I would definitely be giving up that I'm not supposed to give up. So, dun-dun-dun. But, so I'm at this point now where I need some answers. And I don't have the answers right now. So, I'm just getting off of just meditating and praying and fasting from, meats and processed foods and such. And so that I'm able to be viable, be permeable, and able to see with clarity and understand what I'm seeing. But yes, so this is poignant. This on time as usual. But and you must trust her and trust yourself. When something needs to be known, so it shall be. This is necessary, so much less than what we expect. Your lack of knowing is not ignorance. Your unknowingness is your bowing to life with trust. She has come to you, your soul sister or brother, through the oracle to remind you that everything is all right, that she has your back, no matter what appearances may seem to be, to your more limited dog's eye consciousness in the light of day. She is guiding you with her wilder knowledge. Yes, that's what it says. She is guiding you with her wilder knowledge through circumstances and situations that are ultimately going to free you into a greater love than you have ever known. No matter where you feel like a rat in a maze or a bewildered drunk stumbling through labyrinthine back alleyways trying to find your way home again, no matter how out of control life may seem, they're letting you know all is proceeding just as it should, and that her will shall manifest. Okay, so it's not going to be a neat little package. It's not going to be a straight line journey. it's going to be a crooked path. It's going to be some bobs and weaves, some hills and some valleys. And you have to trust the process. Just trust your instinct, trust your gut, trust what you're going through, that it's not going to last always. It's just a part of a journey. And nothing that comes easily do you ever really keep. If you worked for it and sweat for it, you'll take better care of it. That's what I believe. The things that are given to you easily, if you don't appreciate them or foresee the sweat and tears put in them before they were presented to you, you won't care for them. They won't last. They won't mean anything. So, no matter how out of control life may seem, she's letting you know all is proceeding just as it should, and that her will shall manifest. Her will is your wholeness, your completion. Her will must manifest and shall, because her will is nature. It is growth. It is God. She is God. She is God in you. Now, remember that, and you'll realize, if you don't mind the ending being told before the last chapter, that everything's going to be okay. This oracle comes with particular guidance also. You know something deep in your bones without knowing how or why, or without particular reason. You just know. It doesn't make sense, but you know. It may be joy that you know. It may be that you know to avoid a certain thing or situation or person. It may be that something is going to work out beautifully. Despite appearances to the contrary, at a particular moment, it may be that you are meant to take a certain path. You just know. This oracle comes as confirmation that your knowing, mysterious as it is your sacred soul sister or brother talking you through. Trust it and act, or not, accordingly. Wow. So, I'm not going to hold you any longer because we are already an hour in. But that was a goodie. Sacred soul sister or brother or person. But it is a sacred soul journey. So I hope you enjoyed the word for today. Please like, share, subscribe, press the button. I need 55 to go live. Come on, y'all, 55 to go live. So if you enjoyed this, share, comment. I love you to life, and I'll see you in the future.